great. Today is Saturday, December 9th, 2023. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So I'm going to try something a little bit different today. Last week, I gave my numbers for November 2023 of my consumer debt pay down. So if you don't know, I'm trying to pay off $115,000 of consumer debt, which started back in June of 2020. In May of 2021, I learned how to budget from Brad at ZeroDebtCoach.com. And so I've been on this journey, but I wanted to just kind of piggyback off of the video I did last week, in that I mentioned that each month 80% of my income goes towards fixed expenses, and then 20% goes to everything else. Well, so I made a fake dashboard of what a month would look like for me. It's pretty close to my situation, but it's not the numbers that I'm dealing with. Just want to give sort of a visual representation of what that looks like. 80% of the money going towards fixed expenses. What I hope someday is to get to the point where a bulk of the money is going towards savings. Because everyone should have a full emergency fund for emergencies, of course, and then you're saving for retirement. Okay, so let me get this queued up and show you what I'm working with. Okay, so what you see in front of you, once I press record, that's giving me a countdown. Okay, yeah. So what you see in front of you, I have two different sides of this that I'm showing to you. On the left hand side, 3 columns shows my fixed expenses and everything else, and the amount each month that's being paid towards that expense, and then the percentage of income that expense takes up. And then to the right of that, there are 2 columns. It shows where the money's coming from. So basically from paycheck and then the amount. And I put 4 paychecks. For me, I'm only one income. So generally I have 2 paychecks. A few times a year, I have 3 paychecks in a month. But, if you have multiple sources of income, you can account for that easily in a month. The one thing I want to say about this is that I don't look ahead. I deal with my money as it comes in. So I'm not really planning the month out, at least at this point, because I have to give every dollar an assignment. The type of budgeting I do is zero-based, which means I account for every dollar anytime it comes in. Okay, so going back to the spreadsheet, let's start from the top and work our way down. Everything underneath this part here is the fixed expenses. So I got my mortgage and escrow. So the mortgage and escrow payment comes out as one payment. Your mortgage is always going to be the same unless you have a variable interest. I don't have a fixed interest, so my mortgage payment is the exact same. The escrow payment can vary. Now the escrow payment pays the county and city taxes, as well as the mortgage insurance. So that varies because they have an analysis done like every 6 months. I've only had 2, maybe 3 escrow analysis, and I've gotten money back because I was putting too much into the escrow, and so they adjusted that. But anyway, that payment can fluctuate a little bit. I'm just going to say, for the sake of this, mortgage and escrow payment is $1,200, and that is 32% of the monthly income. So a combination of the 2 checks showing that made $3,800 in this fake month. Okay, so the next thing, HOA fees, just $280 a month. That's 7% of the fake income that I have up here. And then internet, $55. That's 1%, approximately. These are approximations, so I'm not doing it to to decimal, to the second decimal point or anything like that. These are just approximations. And then TV streaming service, whatever that may be, it could be Sling TV or Pluto, whatever you may have. But in this case, in this scenario, it's $40, 1% of the income. And then the big expenses, student loans. So, and this is actually close to what I have. So I have 2 student loans, and the payment comes out at one time. And so this is student loan 1 and 2. I'm saying that this payment is $175 a month, and that's 5% of the income. And then personal loan 1, $310. And for me, I do have 2 personal loans similar to this scenario. And I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. Okay, so that's 8% of the monthly income. And then cell phone service, $56 a month, 1%. Home security, $65 a month, 2% of the income. Personal loan number 2, $500 a month. That's 13% of the income. So, quite a bigger number. And then Amazon Prime, $13 a month. Less than 1% of the monthly income. Gas bill, $45, 1%. Auto insurance, $67, 2%. Electricity, $70, and that is 2%. And life insurance, $45, 1%. The total for this month, $29.21, and a combination of the percentages, that's 77% of the income. And when I say fixed expenses, your gas bill will fluctuate, your electricity will fluctuate, your auto insurance might fluctuate, but pretty much everything else is fixed. It's not gonna vary much. So yeah, that's the fixed expenses for every month. Now, what's going to change down the road is my student loans are going to be paid off. So that's, minus 5% that I have to account for that. My first personal loan is going to be paid off, which will probably be next year, actually. That's 8%. That's going to be allocated to somewhere else. And then the second personal loan, that's going to take a little bit longer, but that's 13% of the income that's going to be allocated somewhere else. When I say allocated somewhere else, that means that's probably going to go towards, when I pay off one debt, that amount of the payment is going to go towards the next debt. So I can sort of, snowball this thing and pay off the debt quicker. But first things first, I need to get my emergency fund fully funded. So let's take a look at everything else that I have to budget for. So I got my emergency fund, which I'm going to come back to, but charity and giving, $50 a month, that's 1%. Groceries and toiletries, I don't eat my toiletries, but I can buy that part of the budget. Let's say it's $300 a month that month, 8% of the income. Eating out, $25, which is 1%, which I really don't. I don't eat out. It's not often, a few times maybe in a month, but it's not often I will eat out. So I don't allocate much towards that. And then medications, I'm saying $75. Generally, I'm not spending $75 in a month, but there are months where I have to have that amount there because I get 90-day supplies of the medication. But that's 2% of the budget of the income. And then doctor's visits, set aside $50 a month, 1% of my income. Fuel, which I don't drive much, but I set aside $50 to have for a month. Not saying that it's $50 every month, but I at least have $50 in that category for the month. 1%, and then dry cleaning, $50. I don't spend that much in a month, but I'll have it set aside in case I need to spend that much in a month. 1%, and then these next ones are what's considered to be a sinking fund. So Microsoft Office has a yearly renewal, and each year costs $100 to have it. So I set aside roughly $9, like $8.33 each month to be able to pay for it. So I'm saying here $9 a month. That's less than 1% of my monthly income. Same thing with You Need a Budget, the budgeting software that I use to help keep track of all my spending and everything. That's roughly $100 a year. And so set aside $9 a month. Auto tag renewal, where I live, is fairly cheap. It's roughly $75, including the cost of getting emissions checked. And so that is $6.25 a month that I'm saving each month towards that goal. Now, what you don't see, and what I don't have to budget for, is an auto loan. So I don't have an auto payment right now. My car is paid off. I don't have child support because they hadn't found me. I'm kidding. That was terrible. I don't have any kids, so I don't have child support to account for. I don't have any credit cards. A lot of that I consolidated into a personal loan because the interest rates on those were extremely high, and the minimum payments weren't even keeping up with the amount of interest that accrued each month. So all that has been put into one of the personal loans, or maybe it was into the biggest personal loan. And then you don't see purchase things for as gifts, but I need to go back a little bit. So emergency fund is the thing that I have to account for each month, and really it's the most that I could put into it that month based on my situation. So in this scenario, I'm saying I put in $254.75, 7% of the income, because I'm trying to get it to 100%. As much as I can put towards that, I do. So it's not really a planned amount that I put towards that category, but ultimately, you want to get your baby emergency fund up to $3,000 to $5,000. I'm trying to get it to $5,000. Okay, but anyway, I'm not budgeting for gifts. I don't really exchange gifts or anything like that, so it's not a category I have to worry about. Vacations, I can't tell you the last time I went somewhere. I made a cross-country trip when I moved back to my parents back in 2019. Wasn't really a vacation. I took a week off to in between making that cross-country trip and coming home and then going back to work after a medical leave. So no vacations for me. No going out to the movies. I haven't been out to the movies since probably 2019. It's probably 2019 that I went to the movies, so I don't have to worry about that. Haircuts. I cut my own hair, so don't have to worry about that. And I don't budget for coffee. But anyway, that is sort of a look at what I was talking about, 80-20. Sounds like the 80-20 rule. But a lot of my money is going towards fixed expenses. This is a mock-up, so this is not my budget. But this is a close representation of it. And then everything else that I have to budget for is 23% of my income for that month, 100% accounted for. And that's how it should be. That's why I prefer the zero-based budget. But that's enough of this. I'll probably revisit this at some point. So getting close to the end of the year, and next, it's probably going to be January that I give an update on my progress of paying down consumer debt over the years, starting from June 2020 to now, till the end of the year. And I have a little ways to go. And it can be a little bit lonely doing this, but it's worth it. And, if you're dealing with something similar as me, or you may have a lot less debt than I do, definitely go ahead and start to tackle it. Start to understand your numbers. Keep things simple. Be realistic about your goals, your expectations. Be flexible, because you have to deal with life. And for me, I'm dealing with lupus this morning. I'm still dealing with hand pain that I've been dealing with for pretty much the whole week. No other joint pain right now, which I'm grateful for. And I'm going to be studying all weekend. I do have one of those bed tables like you have in a hospital, so I can pretty much stay in bed and study all day and kind of just recover. But I have to have lunch and dinner, so I'm gonna head back downstairs and prepare that. And anyway, if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/lupus lifestyle. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care.
you.